Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatly Tones Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. I've got a bit of breaking news for you because in this video I'm going to be telling you exactly what is going to be in episode 9 of the Beatles Anthology. Now, as you probably know, the Beatles Anthology is getting a reboot and it's going to be on Disney Plus starting tomorrow, Wednesday the 26th of November, where we get the first 3 episodes. The next 3 will be on Thursday and culminating on Friday the 28th of November, when we'll get the final 3 episodes, and that is when episode 9 will be screened. Now, the information that I've got for episode 9 comes from an email subscription that I subscribe to called the Daily Beatle, and they say they've seen it once and everything that they can remember is in the email. So there's some general information, and then there's a list of what they consider to be the highlights, but it is caveated by the fact that it might not be everything because they've only seen it the once. So obviously this video is going to contain spoilers, so if you're one of these people that don't want to know what's in episode 9 until you actually watch it on Sunday, then now is the time to leave. I'll wait for you. Do you think they've gone now? Okay, let's carry on. And now there's quite a lot to get through here, so let's get into it. So the first thing I can tell you about episode 9 is the running time. It's 52 minutes. Just for comparison, this DVD that came with the Anthology box set in 2003, which was called Special Features, is 81 minutes, so quite a bit longer. So it says that episode 9 has been kind of edited in the same way as episodes 1 to 8, with the interviews with, Paul, George, Ringo, George Martin, Neil Aspinall, interspersed with archival photos, that sort of thing. But those interviews, some of those interviews are included in this. It then goes on to say, however, episode 9 includes revealing previously unreleased fragments of those interviews that were shelved for 30 years, for example, when they talked about Now and Then, alongside photographs and archival footage of the group, much of it repeated in from the first 8 episodes, which is a bit disappointing to hear. However, there are some previously unseen snippets of footage from the 1969 Get Back sessions, a short 8mm colour film for a 1964 TV show, home movies of John Lennon in the late 70s. Also included are new segments in addition to those on Anthology's Special Features DVD, featuring interviews with the 3 Beatles together, filmed in June 1994 at Friar Park and May 1995 at Abbey Road. There are no complete songs, no new improvisations or unreleased songs from the sessions at Friar Park in 1994 that were not already known, except for additional seconds of a couple of them. However, there are dozens of short unseen scenes with original audio from the sessions of the 3 reunion songs, Free as a Bird, Real Love and Now and Then. In general terms, episode 9 might seem like a bit of a fragmented combination of the bonus DVD from the box set Special Features, plus some stuff from the press kits that were sent out for Anthology 2 and 3, and add in some extra footage of those same interviews with Paul, George and Ringo. If you want to see, they keep using the word threetles and I can't stand it. If you want to see Paul, George and Ringo jamming together and sitting back reminiscing without the screen being interrupted with photos and archival footage, then you're probably better off sticking with This, they say. I'm going to go and talk about what they consider to be the highlights of episode 9. Before we do that, just a little bit of housekeeping. Please remember to give the video a like. It really does help the channel and help my videos get out to more people. So I really would appreciate it if you'd give the video a like. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Love to have you along for the ride. It is absolutely free. And if you don't know, this channel is absolutely ad-free as well. I don't allow any ads mid-roll in my videos and never will, and that is my promise to you. If you're watching on your phone and you see the hype button come up along the bottom of the video, and you're only allowed 3 hypes a week, if you've got a spare hype to give, I would really appreciate it if you would give a hype to this video. Okay, let's talk about the highlights. So episode 9 starts with some archival footage of the Beatles in the studio with George Martin. There is a few seconds of unseen footage of the I Will sessions and also A Hard Day's Night. Previously unseen scene of Ringo and Paul at Abbey Road in May 1995 opens this final episode. Paul jamming on the drums and Ringo sitting up front looking at the camera. "Are you rolling?" he asks. Paul continues playing and Ringo jokes, "Didn't I tell you?" He's using the word Threetles again. The Beatles at Abbey Road in May 1995 are asked if the anthology series would have been possible in the 1970s, and each offers their opinion on the documentary, which was originally entitled Long and Winding Road, as you know. This entire sequence is new. Neil explains that he was in charge of the original project, searching the world for as much footage as possible. A home video of Ringo filming George, Paul, Linda, his wife Barbara and Olivia is shown more extensively than in George Harrison's documentary Living in the Material World. In a separate interview, George laments John's absence and comments that he would have enjoyed the chance of being together again, also confirming that he, Paul and Ringo resolved their differences. Previously known footage of Paul rehearsing Helter Skelter and Blackbird on his acoustic guitar on the 11th of July 1968 is included here. The reunited Beatles with George Martin in Abbey Road control room listening to Tomorrow Never Knows takes 1 and 3, previously available on that, but with several extra seconds here, particularly when they're exploring the sounds in take 3. There is also previously unseen sequence when they are listening to the Golden Slumbers tape, highlighting the isolation of Paul and George's vocals, with Harrison commenting, "I don't remember that harmony." Partially new audio of What You're Doing, previously available alternate take that is interrupted by Paul asking George Martin if his bass sounds like crap. George offers his version of the origin of the idea to complete some unreleased songs left by George, relating it to Elvis Presley, who he at one point considered included as a fictional new member of the Travelling Wilburys after Roy Orbison's death. Paul commented during his 1995 solo interview, "What would be good is if we had a third song, and we actually have. It's called Now and Then, but it's going to need a lot of changes. People are going to have to be very patient with us, and Yoko will have to let us chop it a little bit, but it needs a lot of work, so we're a little terrified." Jeff Lynne explained that it was complicated due to time constraints to complete it, so they decided to work on one that they had furthest along in the recordings, which is Real Love. As if McCartney were predicting the future, he remarked in the same interview that for any other group, this would be the end, but for the Beatles, you've got to watch out. They could do it. There's always a surprise along the line. That surprise took about 29 years to materialise. Near the end, during the interview with the 3 of them at Abbey Road, Paul commented that they were no longer interested in reunited as a group because there would be a hole on the stage that couldn't be filled. George interrupted and joked, "Paul and I will do a stadium tour next year," and Paul returned the joke saying that what they would probably do was wrestle in mud. Ringo said they could continue as Paul, George and Ringo, but not as the Beatles. George closed the series of interviews by saying that the Beatles would live on forever in the records, books, videos and people's mind. Tomorrow never knows. We'll close this off by talking about the musical highlights from the 1994 sort of jam sessions and the sessions for Free as a Bird, Real Love and Now and Then. So the excerpts from the 1994 jam sessions included the following order throughout episode 9: Thinking of Linking, then raunchy number 1, partially obscured by narration, warm-up, rehearsal, false start, seen and heard for the first time. Then raunchy number 2, Baby What You Want Me to Do, Blue Moon of Kentucky with previously unseen additional seconds at the end, and Ain't She Sweet. Then moving on to Free as a Bird, we see Paul at the piano and George on guitar practicing, Harrison at the microphone singing a fragment of the song, Paul and George recording acoustic guitars, Paul improvising the ending with George on their acoustic guitars, Paul singing Free as a Little Mighty Bird and whistling like a bird, George and Paul recording their vocal harmonies and Ringo some drum fills. Paul exclaims, like a little birdie, and Harrison comments, did you record that one? And that's Free as a Bird. Then moving on to Real Love. A bit more here. We've got Ringo practicing on his drum kit, Paul, George and Jeff Lynne rehearsing on acoustic guitars, Paul singing part of the song during the rehearsal, George suggesting acoustic guitar parts and vocal harmonies to Paul, Jeff Lynne plays a short excerpt of a vocal track, possibly Paul and George not audible in the final mix, Harrison and McCartney recording the Love harmony, Ringo, Paul and George recording the backing track, Paul recording his backing vocals telling Jeff Lynne that he's not singing in John's tone, that he should probably do it in Lennon's style. Harrison recording a guitar solo completely different from the final version, one of the highlights of the whole of episode 9. Ringo recording drum fills and Paul on timpani. Paul at the piano asks if it's the real speed, and George improvises on his banjo parodying Real Love, singing the lines, it's real speed, it's real speed. This segment appears after the Now and Then sessions. Now on to the Now and Then sessions. Paul and George rehearsing with acoustic guitars while listening to the demo. Paul rehearsing at the piano. Paul suggests finishing the other one, Real Love, and leaving this one for next time, which for him never came. So that's all I've got for episode 9. It's very difficult to have an opinion on this until you've actually seen it for yourself, but it does seem like it's a bit of a mixed bunch. I'm kind of erring on the side that there's more stuff in this that we have seen before than we haven't, but we'll see when it drops on Friday. I'd love to know what you think about it. It does seem to me like the musical highlights are going to be the sessions from 1994 and 1995 on the new songs, but do let me know what you think down in the comments. You know, I love to read your comments, and I do read them all, and I will respond to them all as well. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.